The tragic story has become international headlines. No matter what happens going forward, the family says they'll never get Lauren back.
Life has changed for our family. It would never be the same ever again.
"23-year-old Lauren Smith was found unresponsive in her Bridgeport apartment in the early hours of December 12th after meeting up with an older white man from Bumble. The man has recently been identified as Matthew LaFountain. More than a month later, even with viral attention on social media, her cause of death remains a mystery, and her family is frustrated and unsatisfied with the manner in which Bridgeport police continue to conduct the investigation. Her family announced at a press conference on Sunday that they intend to sue Bridgeport, Connecticut, over city authorities' handling of Lauren's untimely death. The family is also asking that an independent agency be brought in to handle the investigation of the death.
There's a systemic level of corruption in the city of Bridgeport.
The family of 23-year-old Lauren Smith Fields coming together for a press conference Sunday, the pain they're going through written all over their faces. Family attorney Darnell Crossland saying he'll be filing a lawsuit on Monday seeking to compel the city of Bridgeport to, quote, properly investigate Lauren's untimely death and to protect the interests of her family, who Crossland says, quote, has not been well served by the Bridgeport Police Department.
So we're filing a lawsuit here in Bridgeport to compel them to process this case, to protect this family, and to give them the equal rights that they deserve under the Bridgeport and the Connecticut Constitution.
For the family and activists across the country, the city's alleged mishandling resembles a broader failure to value Black lives, particularly the lives of Black women. Many have compared it to the case of Gabby Petito, a white woman who disappeared during an extended road trip with her boyfriend, and after being national news on a daily basis, was subsequently found deceased. According to an incident report obtained by the family attorney, Lauren's body was found by Matthew. She asked Matthew for $40 for her nails and to meet her at her Bridgeport residence, where they took shots of tequila. He said Lauren became ill and went to the bathroom to vomit. Following her illness, she came back and they continued to drink tequila with mixers. They allegedly played games, ate food, and began to watch a movie when Lauren received a text. She went outside to get something from her brother, and upon her return, went straight to the bathroom for 10 to 15 minutes. Matthew stated he thought it was odd, but didn't feel it was his place to say anything since he didn't know her that well. The family has raised multiple questions about the police report. According to Lauren's mother and brother, her nails had been done earlier that week and were still so intact that her nails didn't need to be done for her funeral. The police report also doesn't match the story of the last relatives said to have seen Lauren alive that night. According to Lauren's brother, on the night of December 11th, he went to her home to pick up a basket of clothes. He was unaware that anyone was in the home and stated that Lauren was outside for about 10 to 15 minutes before going back inside. He said she appeared normal, didn't look sick, tired, or drunk, and if she did, he would have questioned her about it. The report then goes on to state that Lauren and Matthew continued to watch the movie and finish the bottle of tequila. Lauren eventually fell asleep on the couch, at which time he carried her to her bedroom, where they both went to sleep. At 3 a.m., he said he went to use the restroom and she was snoring. At 6:30 a.m., he said that she was laying on her right side with blood coming out of her right nostril and was not breathing. He then called 911. Following the police's arrival, Lauren's landlord was contacted, but he did not have family contact information. It wasn't until days later when Lauren's mother went to her apartment to see why she had not been answering the numerous calls and texts from family that she found a note from the landlord that said, "If you are looking for Lauren, please contact this number." This is when she was informed of Lauren's death. Nowhere in the report did officers mention detaining Matthew for questioning, despite him being the last person who saw Lauren alive. During the press conference, Lauren's brother stated that police told him the reason they didn't bring Matthew into questioning was because he seemed like a nice guy. In the police report, the patrol officer noted that Matthew was frantic. On December 12th, officers confiscated Lauren's phone, $1,345 in cash, her keys, and her passport. Lauren's family and their attorney have pointed out the many flaws made by the police on the first day of the investigation. On December 29th, 3 days following Lauren's funeral, the family was finally allowed access to her apartment, at which time her mother noticed vital physical evidence that police had failed to collect, such as a condom with semen inside, lubrication, bloody sheets, and an unidentified pill that could have been used as a sedative, plates, as well as cups. The family also has several complaints about the performance and professionalism of Bridgeport police officers following Lauren's death. According to the family, when they learned of Lauren's death on December 13th, they phoned Detective Cronin, who said that he would arrive in 30 minutes. After waiting over an hour, they said they called again, and the family was told to stop calling.
They had to contact police to get answers about Lauren's case, but say after they continued to inquire about the investigation, they say they started having issues with the detective on the case.
He told me directly on the phone, stop calling me, and hung up in my face.
Right. Exactly.
Like, it was just total disrespect.
Exactly.
Like, our family's going through grief.
The way how they talked to me, the way how they talked to my family, the way how they treated my daughter. They treated her like she was nobody, like she was not important.
Since those issues, the family has hired attorney Darnell Crossland in an effort to get answers and justice for Lauren.
We want an independent investigation by an independent state agency or federal agency to look into this. And we want DOJ, like in D.C., when they have to step in and deal with Mike Brown.
In a statement to NBC Connecticut, the city's police department says the Bridgeport Police Department offers its sincerest condolences to the family and friends of Miss Lauren Smith. We encourage anyone with any information to contact police. The family and attorneys say they saw that message, but want to know what happened to Lauren.
We want justice.
We want answers.
Yeah. I mean, whatever happened that night, we want to know. And we want to feel like that they care as much as we care.
I never get to touch her again. It's deplorable how they treated us. I don't get back my daughter.
The original detective assigned to the case is being investigated by the department's Internal Affairs Division, and the case has been reassigned to a detective who the family also describes as unprofessional. According to the family attorney, the physical evidence still has not been submitted to the proper channels or the forensic science lab. The app BUMBLE has reached out to Crossland Law Group to show their support to the family and offer to create a charity in Lauren's name. On Tuesday, Crossland and David Wallman of Stanford, who is working with Crossland, will be meeting with the CEO of BUMBLE to discuss whether or not the city of Bridgeport and or BUMBLE are collectively liable in connection to Lauren's death. Next Sunday, January 23rd, would have been Lauren's 24th birthday, where she would have been getting ready to board the plane to Greece with her grandmother. Instead, her family is planning a march from the Bridgeport Police Department to Bridgeport City Hall to commemorate her death and demand the city to act. In the meantime, the family continues to raise money via GoFundMe to be able to pay for Lauren's private investigation, such as the independent autopsy that the family has come out of pocket for. The family attorney, David Crossland, made the following statement. It doesn't take but a little humanity for the city of Bridgeport to say, wow, that should not have happened. No one has called. Their inaction is action, and we are not going to stop until justice is served. A Twitter user posted the following. We live in a world that feels the need to constantly remind us that as Black women, our lives do not matter. My heart breaks for her family and the people who knew and loved her. My heart breaks for the long life she could have lived, for the things she could have accomplished, for the love she could have experienced, and for the happiness she could have known. She was us, and this story is very personal. At the very minimum, we owe her justice.